Hi, everybody. It's Kimberly, and I'm back with the Twin Flame family. And wanted to do a little bit of an energy update for this upcoming week, as well as share some thoughts and sentiments from my own Twin Flame journey and experience. So, I hope everyone is doing well. I had posted a video last week about there being a lot of like movement, momentum, chance meetings, pushes forward in career, finding out news. I still feel like a lot of that is going to carry over into the upcoming weeks, especially just someone had commented on the video and they said, your reading was all over the place. You're saying about chance meetings, and then you might talk to your twin or you might not, but here's the thing is the chance meetings that I feel like are going to happen are not necessarily pertaining to your twin. They're like people who are going to come in to support you, and you may have already met them. And I know that I did over this past weekend have those experiences where people came in to support and broaden your horizon and help you see things a little bit clearer and expedite this process of like clearing through the muck. So it's like one of those times I feel like this whole month is heightened, and the upcoming weeks for like not being a hermit, as I said in the last reading, and for going out and, if there's a choice between, going to a coffee shop or staying home or going to an event or not, you should go, because people are going to come in to help you along this journey in some way, even if it's just for your own personal growth. I do feel like the energies for this week are much calmer. It's much more about like going a little bit inward now, and it's about healing some of these energies. So we've just went through like a really rough patch in September with the eclipse season and Mercury retrograde and all this crazy stuff. And I know in my twin flame relationship, there was a lot of conflict, fighting. It was an energy drain. There was upsets. There were, like things were being shown that were upsetting, as well as old wounds just coming to the surface. And so I feel as though we are being given the opportunity right about now and in the upcoming week to really heal ourselves, to quiet down, to, sort of slow down and go inside, and also to self-care. And it's really important that you self-care, like take time to rest. There might even be, like, for me, the call has been slow down, just slow down, because I've been going, in addition to all of this stuff, I mean, you're processing a lot going through this twin flame relationship. It's a lot of work that you're doing, even though you might not feel like it's work or look at it that way. It's over time, it can become a bit taxing, and they're asking us to renew our energies right now, whether that means going inside and being a little bit more introverted, or just, calming things down. I just feel like a slower pace this week, but again, it doesn't mean that you should be a hermit. I truly am getting that message, like, still keep putting yourself out there. Just take time to self-care, take time to rest. I feel like rest is, we're also, at least on the East Coast, that daylight, our days are getting shorter, and, we're heading into winter now. So it's good to be mindful of that and see and pay attention to how it's affecting you in your physical body. And, if you need to rest or go to bed earlier, do it, because that's some of the healing that needs to happen now, like at a cellular level, after probably a lot of activity in September and maybe upsets or energy expenditure and things of this nature. So listen to your body. That's huge for this week. Slow down a bit. If you need to go inward, reflect, all of that, but do not be a hermit. They're still saying, do not be a hermit. Okay, so when opportunities arise, take them, because you will find yourselves in circles of support or pairing up with people who will support you. And with twin flames, yes. So with twin flames, I'm not going to speak to the collective too much about specific twin flame, dynamics that might be on the horizon. But I feel the reason why I'm not going to do that is because it's a little bit tainted with my own stuff right now. And so I figured rather than try to share what I'm feeling for the collective, why don't I just share my own personal experience? And maybe you will be able to relate or pull something from it that's useful for you. So, okay. So there's been a lot of this balancing masculine and feminine energies in my relationship with my twin flame. And it is really, really interesting to me as I talk to other twins and work with other twin flame couples or twin flames, that to hear it's almost all across the board, all the way across the board, to hear that there is an imbalance of divine feminine energies, or masculine feminine energies. And you may even realize that you're embodying a lot, if you're in a female embodiment, that you're embodying a lot of male traits. And you may realize that your twin, who is maybe in a male physical suit, is embodying a lot of the female traits, or feminine traits, or vice versa. And when you discover these things, it's important to look at where it's coming from and why. And the reason why I say that is because I'll give you for example with me. So for example, I tend to go into my masculine, let me start here. My twin and I had a heart-to-heart talk, and it was very sweet, and it was sort of like smoothing over some of the hurts that we, inflicted on one another. But, it was a nice heartfelt talk. And what he said is he started to say, some really sweet things of why he loves me so unconditionally. And one of the things that I thought was funny, just how he thinks of it, how he words it, is he said, one of the things that he named is he said, I love your feminine side. And I thought to myself, wow, I have a feminine side to him, but really I'm a female. And so I should be predominantly feminine. And I think to him, it's a side that he sees not often, or maybe not as often as the other side, and he probably wants more of. And when he and I were in separation, a big part of the healing work that I did and the shadow work I did was trying to connect the dots as to why I was so out of my female, not disconnected from my divine feminine self. And in the separation, I really reclaimed a lot of it, right? But it's different when you're, independent, you're not in a relationship and having all this stuff mirrored, and you're in your own power center, and there's more time not being in a relationship, so you can give back to your feminine self, whether that's being with other women or giving, taking more self-care, whatever that means to you. So going into the relationship with him, the reason why I think I cross over into my masculine self so much is because I do that as a defense mechanism, right? It's like a barrier protection layer. It's also a defense mechanism. And, it's a way to keep out, right? So there's Stella, she normally is. It's a way to keep out. So to allow love, to not allow love, to keep it out. So what I mean by that, okay, so what do I mean? So I guess when I slip into my masculine self, it's more aggressive, it's more harsh, it's more disconnected from my feeling self, right? From my emotional self. It tends to be, the leader and the giver instead of the receiver. It tends to be the fighter and the take charge sort of person. And it's interesting because I've noticed that when we go into periods of fighting or battle, or however you want to term it, it is often because he slips too into his feminine self and I slip too into my masculine self, and we completely clash. So he's a very manly and strong man, but he's also very in touch with his emotional side, and he's a Pisces water sign like me. I'm a Cancer, and so those things are governing us, whether we realize it or mindful or not. I've talked to quite a few, or worked with quite a few twin flame couples that have this imbalance as well, for various reasons. So like, where does it come from? I think mine came from, maybe not being fully accepted by my father. So I took sort of like a man's role in the world. Like I went out to work and to prove myself, and running in circles of other men and not around women as much. And, feeling that aggressive, competitive, to be the best, to prove yourself, to stand next to other men or whatever. And I think, you have to sort of go back to the core belief or the core wound and go, where is this stemming from with me? Well, stemming from not having acceptance from my father as a girl or teenager or little girl. And, stepping sort of into that more masculine role. And I think a lot of my own insecurities stem from when I'm around other females who are very connected to their divine feminine and feeling like there's such a difference between me and them. And you look at me and you go, well, you're such a girly, like I look like a girly girl, but I disconnect from my feeling self and my feminine self very, very often. And I can tell you that I enjoy being connected to my feminine self. The work that I did when my twin and I were in separation, it showed me how much I enjoy that. It was like, I felt like connected to the goddess within, to strength, to more security and empowerment than I actually feel in my masculine self. And it's kind of odd because you would think through, standing next to men, through strength, aggression, leadership, all those things that I'm naming off to you, that I would feel more powerful that way. But it's not, because it's not organic and it doesn't align with my true self. So trying to work on shifting the energies so that both my divine masculine, divine feminine within me are balanced and mature. Okay, so I feel like my divine masculine, like my masculine side is not as mature. And my feminine side is so mature that she's willing to like let go and go, I'll just let you take over. And so the maturity that needs to happen in the masculine side is going, I don't need to be this. Some of this is ego stuff. This is wound stuff. This is protection stuff. This is a layer that I need to just shed and realize that this is not who I am. These are maybe some traits that I embody, but getting that balance, right? And so it's the same with my twin. He, in times that we are in struggle, he is, in sort of I'm needing to, for more emotion, and needing for, feeling connection and those types of things. And being less of like the giver, provider, whatnot. And so, yeah, it's just balance, and it's definitely an awareness. And like I said, it's very helpful to go back to wherever this stems from, so you can understand why you are carrying on this imbalance. Like I said, other couples I've talked to, or other twin flames I've talked to, sometimes the imbalance translates like this. The male will bow out of the relationship because he doesn't feel strong enough to be with the female when you have a predominantly masculine female. So I heard many twins say, oh, well, he went into a relationship with someone who was, weaker than me, and just, he's not happy because he's not being challenged, and this is not, whatever. But the thing about it is that he chose that because this is the only way that he's going to be able to step into his masculine self, by realizing that choosing someone who's less of a man doesn't make him the man, right? So if that makes any sense. So choosing a female who's, very connected to her feminine and almost like subservient, or just more docile or agreeable, or, not as take charge, not as, whatever it is. The male embodiment, physical embodiment, who is trying to connect more to his divine masculine, is going to find it through contrast in that situation, right? And it will allow the female counterpart, the female twin, to take the time to reconnect to her divine feminine. And the union will occur when the two start to balance on their own. So just as my twin and I are trying to balance while we're still, in this union, in this relationship, some of you in separation, I feel like there was somebody on our twin flame conference call, same thing. I've talked to so many people like this, where the divine masculine is out playing out a karmic relationship with somebody who's like, not quite right for them, because they're able to play the role of the man, like what feels like the man to them. And so in order to be with you, who may embody a lot of masculine energy, they would really have to step up, right? So the work to be done and to be understood is to allow yourself to come into your own divine feminine. And as you do that, and you practice that, he or she will feel that shift, and they will also come into their divine masculine or feminine selves as well. And then you will strike a balance so that union will be possible and harmonious. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a little bit confusing. I've talked to so many couples like this, and so many people that are struggling with this and almost a bit unaware. So I just want to bring awareness to it and let you know that it's really, really important to do the work. And Teal Swan, who I allude to in some of my videos, she has some great YouTube videos for connecting with your divine feminine, connecting with your divine masculine, as well as like how to, recognize or identify your core beliefs and things like that. And I think all of those videos are extremely helpful. If you need tools, I would look to them. And I'm just going to pick a couple of Ascended Masters cards for this week, which is the week of October 10th going into, well, it's October 11th, but we'll say it's Monday to Monday. So from the 10th through the 17th, okay? And I like the Mondays. I like a Monday week because it is the moon day, ruled by emotions. So, okay, so this is Follow Your Heart, St. Francis. So, and I think that the meaning here is, simply it is that. It's also saying to us, not just follow your heart with love with your twin flame, but like follow your heart in terms of, what do you need right now? Do you need to rest? Do you need self-care? Do you need love? Do you need to just, go give into a craving, or go buy something for yourself, or follow your impulses, follow what you need to heal as well. Like, so they're saying like, listen to your heart, but listen to not only the emotion that's happening, but also like what you need from within to heal your heart, right? Whether that's coddling and self-care. Like, self-care just keeps coming up for me. So I'm just giving it all to you. I feel like you need it. So here it is. Okay, so now we have, okay, all right. So now we have peace offering, which is the white buffalo calf woman. And peace offering, again, I still feel like it's really not the peace offering with your twin. I feel like this is like making peace from within, right? That this is white purity, calm. It's like, let's be calm, right? And let's find the peace from within to sort of slow down our minds and take that time to self-care and heal our energies. And lastly, yeah, I was going to say white tea. As I said right here, that's what it feels like. It feels like this is purification, and at the bottom it says white tea. Well, I'm sorry, it's white Tara. But something's telling me about like drinking water, drinking white tea, drinking things that are pure, like that white energy. And this is, again, purification, which is, she's centered and she's peaceful, and there's water around her, which is, emotions, and it's calm and it's still. Okay. So follow your heart, peace offering, and purification. And I really think it's all about going within. Okay. And that's the message for this week. So self-care, find peace from within, calm your mind, slow down from within, take the time for yourself, and reconnect with your divine feminine and masculine energies, and try to figure out how to strike that balance, whether you're in union with your twin or you're in, a separation, a 3D separation. Important things. So much love to you all, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Okay, bye-bye.